If you guys have been with us from the very beginning, then you should know that this is a very special day. Well, technically, I guess by the time you guys are listening to this, it will be tomorrow is our special day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Do you want me to say it or do you want to say it?
I think you should say it.
You want me to say it? Oh boy.
Go for it. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mindset Talks Podcast.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Today is an exciting day.
We have a very special episode waiting for you.
We do indeed. And if you guys have been with us from the very beginning, then you should know that this is a very special day. Well, technically, I guess by the time you guys are listening to this, it will be tomorrow is our special day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Do you want me to say it or do you want to say it?
I think you should say it.
You want me to say it? Oh boy.
Go for it.
All right. Well, for those of you that have been following us from the very beginning, you will know that we dropped our very first episode on September 28th of 2021. And if you
Okay.
pay attention to what day is tomorrow, we
Okay.
are officially celebrating our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, 1 year Mindset Talks Podcast. We have been bringing episodes to you.
We
Oh
have.
my
And how
gosh.
crazy is that? Because it doesn't feel like a year for me.
It doesn't. That year has gone by so fast. And, I know so much happens in a year, but we were like podcast babies starting.
Girl.
Like, really didn't know what we were getting into.
Not at all.
And, there's always some more to learn along the journey. That's just with anything new that you do. You're not going to know it all within that first year, but from the beginning to now, ooh, some significant changes, I bet.
Yes, I was going through and I saw little clips of every single episode that we have dropped on YouTube. And just let me tell you, the progression we have made and the growth is real. Like,
Oh my gosh. And it's been so much fun. And it's crazy thinking like most of the time that we've recorded, I've been pregnant. Like when we started this whole concept,
yeah.
that wasn't even anything within the works, within the plans
Nope.
so that has been quite interesting. And I'm actually really excited to see how we progress, even with me being in another new chapter of my life.
Hmm.
I am excited to see how things mesh, with being a parent and podcasting. And
Yeah,
I'm sure
same.
eventually you'll hear my daughter screaming in the background, something crazy. Won't be able to hide her forever.
No, you will not. Especially when she gets to, like toddler years.
Oh my gosh, I know. But we really have been doing this thing, and it started off as one idea and turned into something else, and all of a sudden it's this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if we've actually ever like really, really like talked about like how we like became and all of that. So I guess
I
like
don't think so.
talking about it for like our 1 year anniversary is probably not a bad idea. So I don't even really know what got me into thinking about doing a podcast, but um it originally started, I won't make this too long. It originally started with me wanting to do a podcast or something providing knowledge to people about like management and like being in the workplace because there's so many things that I would love to tell my employees and I just can't because
Mm-hmm.
it's not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, it just like grown on my head to where I was like, I was like, maybe I can like create something where I can tell people who like want to become management or something of that nature, like what it really takes and like why you do certain things. Cause there's always like, I'm sure you've seen like those weird like memes and stuff online, or it's like, oh, my boss is like a bitch, or
Mm-hmm.
always makes me do something or whatever. And it's like,
Right.
I just really think that people just like don't understand like what it takes. And I know that you were also in like a, supervisor management role and stuff. And so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I was like, "Awesome." Like, one of my best friends are also kind of in my situation. I was like, "Why not share, like, our knowledge and spread it to people?" Because I didn't wanna do it by myself. Because I was like, "That's just not." I don't know. I just don't
It's
think
not as fun.
podcasting. No, it's not, and I learned that while you left me for a few weeks, but
Sorry.
I'm not mad at you. Um, but yeah, and so I just remember asking you one day, I think that we were, like, video chatting, or maybe I don't think I asked you in a text. I think I asked you, like, on the phone or in a
Yeah, I think
video
we're
chat
video
or something.
chatting.
And I was just like, "Hey, Amanda, I have this, like, really, like, crazy idea." And I was like, "Hmm, would you ever be interested in doing a podcast with me?"
Super random.
It was, and to my surprise, you actually said yes, or that, like, you would at least, like, think about it, and I I don't know why, but, like, I just didn't think that you would do it because I know that you're not really on, like, social media and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so I just kinda figured that it wouldn't even be, like, an interest to you, so I was, like, super excited that you were like, "Yes."
It's so funny because I remember around that time, there was something, I don't know, I was like, I don't know, there's some different type of energy running through me, and I wanted to do something new. And I remember that I've always kind of wanted to be into some type of media, but not really sure what and how, and if it's really what I wanted to do. So I thought that why not do this podcast with you? It's a great experience, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Not knowing what's to come of it, but here, let me jump in and join the board with you, and let's just do it and see what we get. Because if we fall on our asses, we're only going to get up and just go down a different path and do something different than we did the first time.
Yeah, exactly, and I remember too, like, when I told you, like, what my idea was for, like, the content and, like, management and stuff
Oh
like
my
that,
gosh.
you were just kind of like, "Mm." You know, like, I guess, but, like, it's not really something, like, I wanna talk about, especially because like, at that time, you were in the store and you were just so, like,
Oh my
stressed out,
gosh.
and you're
Over it
like, "The
all.
last thing I wanna do is, like, come home and, like, talk about work when I've, like, been so stressed and whatever," and I was like, "Okay." I
Hmm.
was like, "Well, I don't really know, like, what else we would, like, talk about because that's kinda, like, the only idea that, like, I had, and I had, like, all these, like, logos and stuff drawn out, and I wanted to call it, like, Management Queen or Management Mindset Podcast or, like, something like
Hmm.
that,
Yep.
and it was, the day before we started recording or, like, the day we were recording, and somehow, instead of talking about anything management, we just decided that we were gonna talk about our parents, and why? I don't really know how any of that really, like, transpired, but I think that we were just kind of like, "Well, we are 2 best friends. We did both lose a parent, like, very close
Very
to each
true.
other.
Very
So,
true.
why not just, like, talk about it? Because more people might be able to relate to that than wanting to hear, like, management advice." And so, that's where our first episode of Losing a Loved One came from, and it just kind of snowballed from there with that concept.
Well, let's not forget, we actually re-recorded that first episode.
We did, didn't we?
We did, because we had a different first episode, and I can't remember exactly why we changed it, but it was very. We just pretty much recorded the same episode, but cut a lot of that background part out.
Mm.
And I think that just
Oh,
jumped
that's
into becoming
right.
its own episode. Yeah, because we kind of talked on our history of how we, kind of became friends, and just like our journey of knowing each other. So
Mhm.
that ended up being its own separate episode later on.
Yes, that's right, and we were like, because I think we, like, listened to it afterwards, and we were like, that's just kinda, like, a lot of talking
Yeah.
about people, like, probably don't care, like, how we became
Yeah.
friends and
But we still told them anyways in a later episode.
True, but, whatever. It wasn't
Had a
like
little chance to listen to us.
the whole intro thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, it's just really crazy to see, like, how everything's just, like, kind of, like, blossomed from there because it was a
Hmm.
totally different direction, and then, like, it
Yep.
just turned, like, overnight into, like, this whole thing, and for me and all of you guys listening to know as well because, you know, you've been keeping up with us, and it's like nowhere in a million years that I ever think I would ever, like, sit here and, like, publicly talk about, like, my experience in losing my dad and stuff like that because that was, like, not something I wanted to do. I was not interested in creating that into, like, a podcast content. I was like, "We're gonna talk about, like, management and, like, stuff that, like, people can use. I'm not gonna get into, like, all this extra, like,
Personal
personal
stuff.
shit." Exactly. But lo
Ooh,
and behold, here we are, folks.
Cassie sharing her feelings, sharing her
Insane.
personal experiences. Yeah, didn't really foresee that one to be happening either, but here
No,
it is happening.
it's just
I want to
weird.
say though that first episode was probably, well, not probably, it was the hardest episode to record,
Yeah,
and not because we were new to podcasting, but because of the content itself. It was just like
exactly.
I'm literally telling my story out loud. Like you already knew my story, but to like state it out
Yeah,
loud so a whole bunch of other people can hear it
yeah,
too. Oh my gosh, that was a lot, and it's just like, whew, you know. But at the same time, it was a breath of fresh air to be able to say it out loud and be like, damn, this really happened.
yeah. No, I agree. And after like listening to a little bit of it, we might want to re-record it just because the quality of that episode is insane.
You know what? I've done it once. I could do it again.
Well, yeah, I think
I did
now
it
it would be a
twice
little easier,
actually, so I can
but
do it a third time.
that is true.
Some of
I
the
was like,
published ones.
God, I do. I remember that too. And I was like, God, I was like, do I really have to like talk about all of this all over again? I was like, I don't want to do
Hmm.
that. I was like, can't we
I
just like,
remember it.
oh God.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll definitely have to bring that back for those of you who have not been with us since the very beginning and haven't had an opportunity to go all the way back.
yeah,
We'll have to definitely kind of restate those stories and
I think
bring
so.
up why we're here and, kind of the foundation behind our podcast.
Yeah. So for everyone that's tuning in today, make sure that you scroll all the way down on our YouTube channel and go look at losing a loved one because we didn't even really have video content. It was literally just our logo on the screen.
Yeah,
You just heard us talking. It was,
you can see our growth as
yeah,
you scroll through our videos.
you definitely
Oh
can.
my gosh. Yeah, no, that was a hard episode. Yeah, it
It
was.
was. It was.
What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite episode that we've recorded thus far?
Favorite episode. Let's see here. As I stare into space thinking. I don't know if I would say if we had a or if I had a favorite one. I mean, right now, instead of like thinking like all the way back to like, months and months ago, I would
Hmm.
probably say my favorite episode is the one where you came back.
Sorry. I was definitely not expecting that. Okay. You got me
What,
there.
yeah, what about you?
My favorite episode. I honestly can't think off the top of my head of a favorite episode. Um, just because I feel like I have fun recording all of our episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so what about
yeah,
this? Do you have a favorite title that we've created?
my favorite title. Yeah, was it Mary Jane God and Spirit?
I was gonna say that was mine too.
It's like the most fun title we've come up with, I feel like.
It
Other
was.
than like, would you want toilet paper with that? That was
Oh,
fun. And it's just like, what the hell are they talking about? Do you want toilet paper with that? Like,
yeah.
and I'll never forget that your takeout, you would would give you toilet paper or you were able to
Mhm.
buy toilet paper from them.
No, there was like a part of like we ordered takeout and they put it in the bag with the takeout. It
Here's your
was
toilet
like
paper.
your it's like here, this goes with your silverware and your plates and
Oh
napkins.
my goodness. And bushes, beetles, and bees.
Yeah, those were
That
definitely
was
the fun
another.
ones.
Yeah, those were definitely fun. Not that we've gotten boring now, but those were just
No.
some of our more creative titles.
Yes, because that was a strategic move on
Hmm.
trying to
Catch your attention.
yeah.
Hmm. So
So,
that is. Want to make sure that y'all are listening and looking.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I was just thinking that, our your concept of the podcast, what it originally was, we can always still give to our viewers, right?
Yeah.
And we can always have a management segment within there to just kind of throw that in there in case you never want to fully let that go. You know.
Shut up.
Viewers, let us know if that's something you're interested in, because even though I'm no longer a manager, Cassie still is, and I have a lot of stories from being a manager, and I can remember a lot of things. So we can
Yeah.
still give you some info on that and show you another perspective.
That
Become
is
a
true.
management series. Let us know
We
if you
could.
want it.
We could. We could. I'm down.
Yes. So we have some more good news, and I want you to also share that too. I want you to be the bearer of good news, because you've held down our episodes time after time while I've been out. So I think that you should continue to deliver some more good news.
Oh boy. Well, I've only been holding it down because you've been creating life. I don't have anything that exciting going on over here, but
You're creating episodes. We're still creators.
oh, you would. Um crazy. All right. So, if well, not if, but so for those of you who are watching our YouTube video, I'm sure that you see something kind of weird going on here. And for those of you that are just listening, you're gonna have to pop on over to our Instagram page and maybe even check out a YouTube video once so you can see our pretty little faces. But anyways, so I'm excited to announce to you guys that with our 1 year episode, we will also be launching a merch line.
Woo! I'd scream if I could, but I don't want to deafen y'all.
So if you guys can see, me and Amanda are both wearing our Mindset Talks podcast tee. And you will notice that mine is a little different than hers. And that is the reasoning because my shirt is a logo that you guys normally see. But also with our 1 year, we're also doing a teeny tweak of a little rebranding. And Amanda is wearing our new logo version of
What's up,
Mindset
Vanna
Talks
White?
podcast. You're doing a great job. And I apologize. It's probably backwards to you guys, but whatever.
It
You will
definitely is.
see if you check out our Instagram page, and then if you guys click the link in our bio and go to our website, you will also be able to go to the links to purchase your own merch. And we know that not everybody likes wearing, other people's logos and things like that. So we do have some other things that are available to you guys now, such as other T-shirts that say like "Stay Positive." We have an amazing mug with Amanda's what did you call it? 7-day mantra.
Yes, mantra, girl, mantra.
Whatever. Her 7-day mantra. Um, and that mug will be Self Care Sunday. And then we also have a Be Kind accessory pouch
Yes.
to
She's so excited.
I know, to provide a little
Homage.
rec- homage, recognition, whatever, to Amanda's mama, the queen bee.
Queen bee.
And we will be having more things, but for now, we wanted to just kind of like start small. So make sure you guys go ahead, check it out, and don't be afraid to support us and spread the love and the awareness as we are just
Yes.
here to try to help each other out. And we thought that merch would be a good next way to do that. So,
Now, can you please let our viewers and listeners know one more time how they can access this merch?
so if you guys head to our website, whether you're on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll be able to click that link, and then you will be directed to just find where our merch is. Sorry, I just had like a brain fart in like the middle of my sentence, and I was like, "What did I just say?"
Oh, that sounds like a Cassie moment. Okay, yep, go ahead.
It does. But yeah, just click the link in our bio and you'll see it right there for you guys.
It'll guide you right along the way.
Long story short.
Thank you for letting us know, because there's always that one person in class who just wasn't paying attention and just need that info repeated. So
True
that's
story.
for you, whoever you are. So I do have one more question before we do wrap up our episode today. I'm celebrating our 1 year.
So exciting.
Um, you know, with growth, what have you noticed any difference in from when we started podcasting to where we are now with podcasting?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question.
Mm.
Because I would say a lot. Our looks being one of them.
I'm like Rapunzel now. I'm not playing.
Which is also just weird because it's only a year ago. Anyways,
Yeah.
but aside from that, I would definitely say that video editing has been a huge growth process for me. I had no idea about anything to do with videos and editing or I just zero idea experience. And you guys will be able to tell that if you guys go back through our YouTube videos because oh my god, the mess that it was. It was just so bad, but you can just see that they've gotten so much better over time.
The learning curve is visible.
It really is. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's like, that's how you learn. You do stuff and then you just kind of like learn new skills and stuff as you go along. And so that's just kind
Right.
of what I've been doing. And I'm still not an expert by any means, but I do have kind of like a set platform that I use and like a system and stuff. So I kind of have a better hang of understanding like what I am doing. So although it is still time consuming,
Hmm.
it doesn't take me like as much time, and I do think that the quality has gotten a lot better since back then.
True.
Um,
I agree.
so it's been a lot. It's been a lot of growth with figuring out videos and because YouTube and stuff is so competitive, and you really have to like make everything look nice, and then not only the video content, but then you have to think about like the thumbnail and all of that, and that's just like that's the
There's so
hardest
many
part.
pieces.
It is because like even if you go back and just look at like the cover photos, like back then they're just not intriguing. But now that
Mm-mm.
like I've been figuring out how to like put our faces up there and like certain colors and fonts and
It's more
oh
enticing. Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing you gotta think about, and I get why people hire people to do this because it's a lot.
If y'all couldn't tell, Cassie is a techie one between the two of us. I do not do that portion when it comes to that's not me. That's not me at all. So when you see these cool videos and all these things, that's Cassie. That's all Cassie. So
Do
give
the
her
best.
kudos. I give her kudos. I appreciate the hell out of her
Mhm.
because she just picks these things up and learns them like nobody's business. I just do the editing for those of you who are listening on our podcast. I put the audio together, so that's me. I I like it. It's way more simple than what Cassie's doing. And I actually have picked up a rhythm and I've figured out, just like with Cassie saying, like after doing it, there's certain places you know where to make your cuts and your edits and just you know how to maneuver more easily. And I like it because it just flows and I don't have to think about as much because now I know more of what I'm doing. And like I said, what I'm doing is simple. So compared to what Cassie's doing, I don't have to worry about thumbnails and things like that. Like that's not me. That's not me. So, but other than that too, just kind of knowing how to talk to you guys or just knowing how to engage with Cassie on these episodes. Um, because starting off, we were nervous. We didn't really know like what how anything. We didn't really know anything.
Yeah.
So now that we're more in the flow, it's just kind of like I don't know, it just flows because we're in the flow. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
all I
more
can say.
routine. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're used to it. So
Mhm.
I like that too because being nervous at first was awkward and well, I'm sure we looked and sounded awkward too. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be out of that stage. It's like middle school when you got all these pimples in your braces and you're looking in a way that you feel is awkward because I'm not going to say pimples and braces are awkward because they're not.
Yeah, it is.
But when you feel like it is, then I guess it is.
Yeah.
It's like that stage of like awkwardness, I guess. Serious
Yeah,
awkwardness. So
definitely.
yeah, that for me is some of the change that I've really noticed the difference in. Other than our followers increased. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Well, I also wouldn't say that you just do the audio because we both know that maybe the ones I had to do myself was a little better, but when I had first done the audio and you were just kind of like in the nicest way that you could, don't touch the audio, please, and let me do it. Because you would get so annoyed if I left like the smallest little like
Yeah.
weird, I don't know, noise or whatever.
Me? Ooh,
And I
me?
just
I
remember
remember
you
this.
saying like, just like don't touch it, please. Like I'll do it.
Oh, we all have our roles, so I just picked up mine, took it from you.
Oh, we do, and it was just funny. So it's not just
Oh,
audio because you are. and have become like the master of it. So I do appreciate you for that, or else we wouldn't have any actual podcast content.
I
So
appreciate you letting me take over the audio because we probably wouldn't have any
shut up.
podcast followers.
Such an asshole. See, I give her a compliment and she just like you know what? Anyways, so
Anywho,
I hope that kind of like even going over this stuff just shows you guys that like you can literally have no idea what you're doing, but as long as you just start doing something, you will progress and you will
mhm.
learn over time. So if you guys want to get into podcasting or YouTube or whatever that's, something not social media wise or whatever, like you really just have to try
And
because
stay committed.
yes, and definitely stay committed because I'll tell you when we first started I never really thought that like we would make it to a year. So this is pretty cool.
This is really awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome. And I look forward to what the next year is going to bring. Y'all still stuck with us, so hey,
Yeah.
keep following.
Oh, I agree. Just how awesome and exciting. I can't even believe it. It's just so weird.
Oh, I know. Oh, we're all grown up.
I know. Oh,
Well, you
man.
already know. So we have some new merch coming for you in case you forgot already. We're just going to remind you on that, especially for those of you who aren't watching and can't see our lovely tees. I'm going to say, um, as a person who is in this lovely Mindset Talks podcast t-shirt, it is a nice short sleeve. If you can see me, you see that the sleeve doesn't go too long, so it's great for the summertime. The material is a nice material. It's not too thick and not too thin, so you won't be too hot. And look, you look great. Look at me. Hey, looking great.
Yep.
All right. So I definitely think that you need to be joining and clicking links and starting to add these to your inventory.
Definitely.
But anywho, sorry, segue. What I was going to say though is my usual. If you aren't already, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. We have podcasts on, was it Apple, Google? I'm not going to list them all, but you know your podcasting hubs, so you can listen to us on there. But I brought up the merch first because that's the most new, exciting thing that we have going on, other than being 1 year in. I can't wait to see what you guys think and how you guys like it.
No.
You guys, as in ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be
According to this.
addressing anyone
So,
else.
anyways.
But y'all definitely need to check us out. Continue to like. We really appreciate all the love. We're here 1 year later. Like 1 year later, we're here, and you guys have been supporting us, and we really appreciate that.
We do. We love you guys for the consistent support. Everybody who's been following us and listening from the beginning, and the person that really just, well, actually, two people that stick up to me is Nat. Thank you for always listening to our episodes and providing us
Mm-hmm.
feedback. And
Yes.
Katie, we appreciate you, girl, more than you know, because I just love getting those little messages from you. It just warms my heart to know
Yep.
that like someone is actually like listening to our to our nonsense.
And
So.
Roseanne also is another dedicated listener that we
Yes.
have. She just may not message us much, but she is a dedicated listener. So we also want to thank you to Roseanne. You are not forgotten.
No, thank you, thank you. We definitely appreciate it, and it really means a lot to us. You guys might not think that or whatever, but it truly
It's
does.
huge.
Yeah,
It's really huge.
it really is.
Get me all excited.
All right, let's not get weird now.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, but yes, just thank you guys, and I hope that you guys are as excited as we are. And as you know it, we will continue to talk to you guys, and we will talk to you guys in our next episode.
Until next time.
Bye.